Oh, hey, don't give me no shit. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can't bring this down just a little bit more. Get a little bit closer to the table. Okay, that doesn't look like we can. That's about as far down as that will go. Let's check this right here. Okay, yeah, that's about as good as it'll go too. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's get this fixed up a little bit. Let's see here. Just trying to get the best orientation possible here. There we go. Fine. Don't do anything with the stupid Gemini. Don't need that. Let's do this. That's good. There we go. Okay, cool. Rotation lock. Perfect. We don't need to rotate at all. Alright, I think that should just about do it. Perfect. Okay, cool. There we go. Alright, so we're going to be starting in just a few minutes here, and then we will start cracking some packs here. It's going to be fun. That's good. All right, very cool. Okay, so hello everyone. We just got our pre-orders in today. We bought a few booster boxes of Edge of Eternities. So got one right there. Then we got another one right there, and then we also got ourselves a pre-con. So we're going to open these tonight, and we're going to see about what we got out here. So like the things that I am really excited to take a look at are the fetch lens. The fetch lens are probably like the biggest reason why I decided to buy into this set. But then I saw like the rest of the spoilers, and the rest of the spoilers look pretty good too. So I'm pretty happy about all the things that we saw in the spoiler list. I actually have not seen the entire spoiler list, but I've seen enough of it to make me feel pretty justified in my purchase. So we're going to start. Sorry about that. The camera is getting a little fussy with the focusing, so I just have to tap it real quick, make sure it gets good. Okay, so here we go. There is a little promo pack for like collector boosters. I don't buy into collector boosters. I think they're a little unnecessary. A lot of people like them. I'm not one of them. I don't really care for like foils or like special printings or things like that or anything like that. I'm gonna try to move this around like this a little bit. There we go. I think this little cord was getting in the way and preventing me from seeing everything. So let's take a look here real quick. We are going to take a look at this little promo pack first and see what comes in it. But yeah, like I said, like I've never been a big fan of foils or special printing or something like that. I think they're cool and an awesome thing for collectors, but I'm just not one of those types. I just like to play the game. So what we got here. Alright, so that's like a little promo card, a little secret alert promo. So a little advertisement card. So what we got here. So we got Warmaker Gunship. That's pretty cool. This actually, I remember this was actually pretty decent. So 6+ to crew it, it's 4/3. When this spacecraft enters, it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you control to target creature and opponent controls. And for only 3 mana, that's actually not too bad, especially if you build around this. You have like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 artifacts by the time this comes down. It can be pretty good. Very nice. Alright, next up, you have the Harmonious Grove Strider. It's just a foil. With a pretty nice looking foil too, though. Very shiny. Yeah, not too bad. Pretty cool cards. But that's just the little promo pack. So we're going to set that aside for now. Alright. Coming up next, we have the deck itself. So this is the Counterintelligence promo deck. So I wanted to get this one simply because I like Proliferate a lot. Proliferate is a really fun mechanic. And a mechanic that I like to play a lot in poison decks. So I figure if there's a lot of good Proliferate cards in this deck, you might be able to use that for a Proliferate poison counters manner style deck. So sometimes I will go and I will buy precons simply for their for the parts. Honestly, I bought a few precons so far just for the parts themselves. So let's see what we got here. So we're gonna start this right here. We have. Hang on a second. Hey. Relax. It's okay. Relax. It's okay. Chill. Good. Don't need no screaming. Pardon me, I got dogs. Okay, so looks like this is the commander for this deck right here. This is Legendary Artifact Spacecraft 5/5 with Station, and you can create at 1 and at 8. At 1, it says, at the beginning of combat in your turn, put your choice of a +1/+1 counter on 2 or 2 charge counters on up to 1 other target artifact. That's actually really useful. I like that a lot. And then 8+ flying. Other artifacts you control have hexproof and indestructible. That's actually a pretty decent effect. I like that a lot. Pop that down there. And then we have the backup commander, which is Kilo Apogee Mine. For a blue, a red, and a white, you get a 3/3 with haste. And it says whenever Kilo becomes tapped, proliferate. That's probably going to be the one that we'd end up playing with a deck like this. In any opportunity for a card like that to just tap and then proliferate is a pretty damn good effect. So even if you're just tapping it for like station effects or tapping it for any other reason, because like it doesn't need to attack to proliferate, it just needs to get tapped. Not too bad. Next up, we got the Patrolling Peacemaker. It's a 0/0 for 3 mana. It says this creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever an opponent commits a crime, proliferate. Okay, it's a Robocop. That's actually pretty cool and pretty thematic too. So, anytime an opponent commits a crime against you, and that's any opponent, so that could be anyone that you're playing with, and not just one person, but up to 3 other people, because you're playing in a pod when you're playing Commander. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Alright, next up we have the Insight Engine. So it's 2 and a tap. Put a charge counter on this artifact, then draw a card for each charge counter on it. That's actually pretty decent. It's just a growing draw spell over time. It's like first turn, draw a card. Then second time, draw 2 cards. Then, let's say like you tap Apogee for any reason. You put another charge counter on it, so then it becomes 3 and then 4. It's like, this can get out of hand really quick. That's a pretty decent draw engine. I like that. Alright, next we have Uthros. Research Craft 3 mana for a 0/8 station. At 3, it says whenever you cast an artifact spell, draw a card, put a charge counter on this spacecraft. And then at 12, which is a lot, it says flying, and this spacecraft gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Okay, so it can eventually become something that you really be able to end the game with. Alright, next up, we have the Depth Shaker Titan. That's a lot of mana. It's a 7 mana, 5/5 robot. When this creature enters any number of target non-creature artifacts you control, become 3/3 artifact creatures, sacrifice them at the beginning of the end step. Each artifact creature you control has melee, trample, and haste. Interesting. So what's a melee? Whenever a creature with melee attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent you attacked this combat. Okay, so it definitely involves you wanting to attack a lot. Very cool. Okay, so next up we have Long Range Sensor. Really cool art on that. I like that a lot. 3 mana. Whenever you attack a player, put a charge counter on this artifact. 1, remove 2 charge counters from this artifact. Discover 4. Activate only as a sorcery. Pretty cool. Next up, we have the Moxite Refinery. 2 mana, artifact, 2 tap, remove X counters from an artifact or creature you control. Choose one, activate as a sorcery. Put X charge counters on target artifact, or put X +1/+1 counters on target creature. So this can definitely help you end the game, or just help you ramp up to a point where you can end the game. That's pretty cool. And it gives you an opportunity to move counters from one permanent to another. I like that. Next up, we have the Solar Array. 3 mana, artifact, add 1 mana of any color, so it's a mana rock. When you next cast an artifact spell this turn, that spell gains Sunburst. Okay, what's Sunburst? If it's a creature, it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Otherwise, it enters with that many charge counters on it. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I like Sunburst, that's a decent mechanic. Surge Conductor. 3 mana, artifact, creature, robot. Whenever another non-token artifact you control enters, proliferate. Okay, so it's just part of the proliferate engine. Not bad. Okay, we've got a couple lands here. So we got Glittering Massive. This land enters tapped, and it is a cycle land. Interesting. Kangaroos are just deer that went to prison. I guess you could say that. That actually kind of tracks. Next up, Radiant Summit. Mountain Plains. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent dual land. And it has land types. That's pretty good. Ooh, here we go. Swan Song. That's actually a very good card to have in this deck. So for a single blue, it says counter target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue bird creature token flying. Really good counter spell for only 1 blue mana. That's pretty good. Ooh, this deck has Chaos Warp too. That's a fun card. 3 mana, the owner of target permanent shuffles it into the library, then reveals the top card of the library. If it's a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield. Very cool. So you can take one pesky thing and turn it into potentially something less pesky. Cloud Key. 3 mana. As this artifact enters, choose target artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, or sorcery. Spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. That's kind of decent. I mean, it can definitely be really good if you have like a lot of a single type of card. This would probably be cast choosing artifact. Next up, we have the Battlefield Forge. So it's the red and white paint land. Very good. Gavel the Righteous. We have 2 mana. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a charge counter on this equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on this equipment. As long as this equipment has 4 or more counters on it, equipped creature has double strike. And the equip cost is pay 3 or remove a counter from this equipment. Hey, that's actually pretty good. I like having alternate costs to equipping cards, because usually the equip cost is pretty expensive. Okay, next we have the Angel of the Ruins. 7 mana, artifact creature, angel, flying. When this creature enters, exile up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. Oh wow, that's actually really good. So it's a 5/7 flying angel. It comes in and exiles up to 2 artifacts and or enchantments. So it disenchants twice when it comes in. That's actually pretty good, and not just good like on its own, but really good for something that you might want to flicker back and forth a few times. That's pretty good. Fumigate. This is actually not too bad. This one, I believe, came out in Outlaws of Thunder Junction. So 5 mana, destroy all creatures. You gain 1 mana for each creature destroyed this way. Not bad. Pretty decent board wipe. Organic Extinction. 10 mana, improvise. Your artifacts can help cast this spell. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1. Destroy all non-artifact creatures. That's interesting. Really expensive, but in a deck like this, I think it can work. Resourceful Defense. 3 mana. Whenever a permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on target permanent you control. Move any number of counters from target permanent you control to another target permanent you control. Okay, so it's a way to move charge counters from one place to another. That's not bad. Here we go. Chrome Host Seed Shrunk. That's actually a really good card. 3 mana, 2/4 flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value. So when you cast, say you cast a spell that costs like 2 or 3 mana, you get a basically a creature token that you can activate later that would become a creature of that size. Okay, next up we have Cyber Drive Awakener. Flying. Other artifact creatures you control have flying. Oh, that's pretty good. It's a 4/4 for 6 mana. That's pretty expensive. It says when this creature enters, each non-creature artifact you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature until the turn. Oh wow, that's actually pretty decent. I would not mind paying 6 mana for an effect like that. That's actually really good. Really cool art on that too. Deep Glow Skate. 5 mana. Fish. 3/3. When this creature enters, double the number of each kind of counter on any number of target cards. Okay, so it's a massive proliferator. Emery, Lurker of the Lock. Really cool card. 3 mana, 1/2. Affinity for artifacts. When Emery enters, mill 4 cards. Tap, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You can cast that card this turn. Not too bad. Next up we have the Kappa Cannoneer. Pretty cool card here. This is a 4/4 with Improvise. It says your artifacts can help cast the spell. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1 colorless. And it has a cost of 6. It has ward 4, so it's a pretty hefty ward cost. And it says whenever this creature or another artifact you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It can't be blocked this turn. That's pretty good. That can definitely be a game ender. Simply just because of the unblockability clause. Phyrexian Metamorph, hell yeah. This is such a good card. 0/0 for 4 mana, or 3 colorless and 2 life. You may have this creature enter as a copy of any artifact or creature on the battlefield, except as an artifact in addition to its other types. Pretty cool. Goodwill Clone Effect. Pull from Tomorrow. X blue, instant, draw X cards, then discard a card. I will gladly draw X cards with this. And it's an instant speed, that's fantastic. Ripples of Potential. Okay, it's interesting. What's it do? Proliferate, then choose any number of permanents you control that had a counter put on them this way. Those permanents phase out. Okay, so you proliferate and then you can choose targets to phase out, so it's a protection spell as well. That's pretty cool. And we have Tekrathal, Inquiry Dominus. So whenever, this is a pretty decent card. It's a 3/5 that basically says whenever you proliferate, you get to proliferate twice. And you can pay its ability and remove 3 counters from among other artifacts, creatures, or planeswalkers you control to put an indestructible counter on Tekrathal. So it's pretty nice. And decent cost too. It's only it's a 3/5 with flying, only 4 mana. It's pretty good. Next up we have the Thought Mentor, or Thought Monitor. 7 mana, it's pretty expensive. It has affinity for artifacts though, so that will be pretty good. 2/2, flying. When this creature enters, draw 2 cards. Oh, that's actually pretty decent. Especially if you play it like mid to late game when you already have a ton of artifacts on the table. Universal Surveillance. X and 3 blue. Improvise, so you can tap your artifacts to cast this. Draw X cards. Okay, so another pretty decent draw spell. The triple blue is a little worrying though. Okay, next up we have Chain Reaction. It's 2 and 2 red. Deals X damage to each creature where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. Okay, pretty cool. I like that. So the more creatures on the table, the more damage it deals. Alibu, Ancient Witness. Interesting art on this card. I like that a lot. 5 mana, red and white. 4/5. It's a golem. It says other artifact creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, Alibu deals X damage to any target, and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. Okay, very cool. This is almost like a lord of artifacts. That's pretty cool. Next up we have Joyra, the Weatherlight Captain. For 4 mana, blue and red, it's a 3/3. Whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. Well, this is a great deck for her because it's an almost all artifact deck. Next we have Wake the Past. 7 mana, 5 colorless, a red, and a white. Return all artifact cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. They gain haste until they're... Oh wow, that can be a game ender right there. you have a graveyard full of artifact creatures, you just bring them all back, and then boom, you win the game. That's actually pretty good. Next up, Astral Cornucopia, triple X cost, which means you have to pay the cost of X 3 times. So if you want X to be 3, you gotta pay 9 mana. This artifact enters with X charge counters on it. Tap, choose a color, add 1 mana of that color for each charge counter on this artifact. Okay, so at its very worst, you can pay 3 mana and make it into a mana rock. Not too bad. Crystalline Crawler. Converge, 4 mana. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Okay, that's not bad. Remove a +1/+1 counter from this creature, add 1 mana of any color. You can tap it and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Okay, it's kind of like a pretty middle-of-the-road card. Nothing to really write home about. Dark Steel Reactor, though. Here we go. 4 mana, indestructible. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on this artifact. When this artifact has 20 or more charge counters on it, you win the game. Okay, so that's definitely something that you want to have out early, and adding charge counters to every single turn. That's actually pretty cool. And a decent alternate win condition. I like that a lot. Empowered Auto Generator. This artifact enters tap. It's 4 mana. Tap, put a charge counter on this artifact. Add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of charge counters on this artifact. Okay, very cool. So at first, you tap it once. It gets 1 mana. Second time you tap it gets you 2. The third time 3. And that's even if you don't proliferate it at all. Hangerback Walker. This is a pretty cool card. This actually was in standard just recently. Double X. This creature enters with X ++ counters on it. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 colorless top pair artifact creature token with flying for each ++ counter on this creature. You can pay 1 and tap, put a ++ counter on this creature. So yeah, not too bad. Pretty cool card. Next up we have Lux Artillery. 4 mana. Whenever you cast an artifact creature spell, it gains Sunburst. At the beginning of your end step, if there are 30 or more counters among artifacts and creatures you control, this artifact deals 10 damage to each opponent. That's actually really cool. So it's definitely a build around. Okay, right after Lux Artillery, we have Lux Cannon. 4 mana, artifact, tap, put a charge counter on this artifact. Tap, remove 3 charge counters from this artifact, destroy target permanent. That's actually really cool. Especially with so much proliferate in this deck. Steel Overseer. 2 mana, artifact creature construct. 1/1. Tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact creature you control. Not too bad. It's a quasi-proliferate. Threefold Thunderhulk. 7 mana, 0/0. This creature enters with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, create a number of 1/1 colorless known artifact creature tokens equal to its power. 2. Sacrifice another artifact. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So this is a creature that comes out, lays out a whole bunch of dudes, and just keeps on swinging. This is a pretty cool card. It's also another card that is in standard. And here we have Titan Forge. 3 mana, artifact, 3 and tap, put a charge counter on this artifact. Tap, remove 3 charge counters from this artifact, create a 9/9 colorless golden artifact creature token. That's actually pretty good, especially in a deck that proliferates as much as this deck does. This is going to make a lot of Titans. One moment, let me just grab a drink. It's pretty hot here. So having a little bit of water is pretty nice. Okay. All right, let's grab the rest of this deck and see what else we got in here. Okay. So we have Articar Wastes. It is a white and blue pain land. Then we have Cascade Bluffs. This is it looks like a filter land. So you can tap for colorless, or you can pay a red or a blue and tap it to add double blue, red and blue, or double red. So that's a pretty interesting land. You don't see a whole lot of lands quite like that. It's pretty cool. Clifftop Retreat. This land enters tapped unless you control a mountain or plains, and it taps for a red or a white. Exotic Orchard. Add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. So it's a Felwar Stone, but it's a land. Glacial Fortress. This one enters tapped unless you control a plains or an island. And white or blue. Very cool. We have Irrigated Farmland. It's a plains and an island. Its land enters tapped, and you can cycle it for 2. Karn's Bastion. And taps for colorless. You can pay 4 and tap it and proliferate. So you got yourself a land that can help you proliferate. Pretty good. Then we have the Mycosynth Gardens. Taps for colorless. You can pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. And you can pay X, tap. This land becomes a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value of X. So it's a land, it can give you mana, and it can also clone for you. Pretty cool. Next up, we have the Rugged Prairie. It taps for a red, or a colorless, or you can pay a red or a white to filter some mana. Pretty good. Then we got the Shivan Reef. That's your red and blue pain land. Then we have the Skyshroud Expanse. So this is a filter land for white and blue. Then we have the Spire of Industry. Taps for colorless, where you can pay 1 life and add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if you control an artifact. So it's kind of like a worse City of Brass. Silver Falls. This land enters tapped unless you control an island or a mountain. It taps for a blue or a red. This is the Temple of Enlightenment. This is your Scry land. So it's a enters tapped. You can tap it for white or blue, and when it comes in, you scry 1. Pretty good. Scry lands are always very good. I personally like the Surveil lands a little bit more than the scry lands. Temple of Epiphany. This land enters tapped. When this land enters, scry 1. Adds a blue or a red. You got the Temple of Triumph. That's your same thing, but it's red and white. Alright, here we got Swords to Plowshares. Very cool card. One of the most effective removal spells in white. It says, exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. Next we have Tezzeret's Gambit. 3 colorless and a blue, or 3 and 2 life. It says draw 2 cards, then proliferate. That's actually pretty damn good. Paying 3 mana and 2 life to proliferate and draw 2 cards. I'll take that. Next we have Thirst for Knowledge with a Tezzeret art on it. Very cool. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. This card used to be everywhere back in the Mirrodin days. Next is the Arcane Signet. We all know what that does. 2 colorless, and it taps to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Pentad Prism. 2 colorless mana to play. Sunburst. This artifact enters with a charge counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Remove a charge counter from this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. So, I'd say this is actually pretty bad. Simply just, well, you can remove 2 counters in a single turn to get 2 additional mana off of this. But then it just kind of becomes a dead rock after that. So, unless you have a way to bounce it, flicker it, or sacrifice it for benefit, it's not that great of a card. Soul Ring. Pretty decent new art in the Soul Ring too. I like that. Adds 2 colorless. Then we have the Command Tower. New art of the Command Tower, of course. Very cool. Adds 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Next we have Dispatch. 1 white mana. Tap target creature. If you have Metalcraft, which will be very easy for this deck, if you control 3 or more artifacts, exile that creature. Next we have the Ethereum Sculptor. 1 colorless, 1 blue, 1, 2. Artifact creature control cost 1 less to cast. Very cool. I like it a lot. Here is one of my favorite cards. This is Experimental Augury. Very cool card, especially when you're playing Toxic. It's 1 and a blue. You get the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order, and then you proliferate. Very, very cool card. And then we have the Thrumming Bird. Perfect include for a deck like this. 1 in the blue, 1/1 flying. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. Enthusiastic Mechanaut. 2/2 flying Goblin Artificer for a red and a blue. Flying artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Core Tapper is next. It's a 2 mana 1/1 mirror. You can tap it to put a charge counter on target artifact. Sacrifice this creature, put 2 charge counters on target artifact. So you can put up to 3 counters on a single target in 1 turn with that. Pretty cool. Etched Oracle. Very cool card. I remember this. This is 4 mana. 0/0 has Sunburst, so if you pay 4 different colors of mana, it will come in 4 counters on it. It says 1, remove 4 +1/+1 counters from this creature. Target player draws 3 cards. It's a pretty decent card. A little expensive for what it does, but it's pretty cool. Everflowing Chalice, here we go. 0 mana, multi-kicker 2. This artifact enters with a charge counter on it for each time it was kicked. Tap, add colorless for each charge counter on this artifact. Great proliferation target. We have the Golem Foundry. 3 mana. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may put a charge counter on this artifact. Remove 3 charge counters from this artifact. Create a 3/3 colorless Golem artifact creature token. Very cool card. Mindless Automaton. 4 mana, 0/0. This creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. 1, discard a card. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Remove 2 +1/+1 counters from this creature. Draw a card. It's an interesting way to like cycle through cards and discard dead cards. And here we have the Soul Guide Lantern. 1 colorless mana artifact. When this artifact enters, exile target card from the graveyard. Tap, sacrifice this artifact. Exile each opponent's graveyard. And you pay 1 and tap, sacrifice this artifact to draw a card. Very cool. If it all fails, you can sacrifice it to draw a free card. Ancient Den. Artifact land that taps for white mana. Buried Ruin. Land, taps for colorless. 2 and tap, sacrifice this land. Return target artifact card from the graveyard to your hand. Very cool. And we have the Evolving Wilds. That's just a fetch land. Go get your favorite land as that. And we have Great Furnace. That is the red artifact land. Lonely Sandbar. This land enters tapped. You can tap it for a blue, and cycling of 1 blue mana. Here we have the Mystic Monastery. This is your Jeskai Triome. Enters tapped and can add 1 of any color of those. Then we have the Razortide Bridge. It is an indestructible land that enters tapped and gives you white or blue. Interesting that it's indestructible. Here's another one, but this one is white and red, also indestructible, also enters tapped. Seat of the Synod, as your blue artifact land. We have Secluded Steppe, that is your white cycling land. Silver Bluff Bridge, indestructible, blue or red. Enters tapped. Oh, got some basic lands now, so we're not getting to the end of this. So we got plains, plains, plains. Island, island, island. Ooh, look at that. That's beautiful. We got mountain, mountain, mountain. Okay, and then we got the tokens here. And the tokens include golem, 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 gnome, golem, incubator tokens. And then we got some little counters right here. Not too shabby, not too shabby. And a little rules remind card. So, yeah, there it is. Very cool. So, that is the Counter Intelligence deck. So basically what it looks like is it looks like a deck that wants you to play a lot of artifact creatures and a lot of artifacts that have charge counters on them. So this is the kind of deck that you would play if you really, really into artifacts. And it's pretty decent. Like there's a handful of pretty decent reprints in this deck. And a lot of cards that I think you could probably take this deck apart and just add a lot of these really cool cards to another deck, an existing deck, upgrade something else you already have. But there's a lot of like really interesting things in here, like Thirst for Knowledge, really good card. You got Swords of Punishers, another great card. A lot of really cool lands in this deck as well. I like that a lot. A lot of Pain lands. Mycosynth Garden is a really good land. Karn's Bastion is a really good land. The Titan Forge is pretty interesting. Thunder, the threefold Thunderhold was pretty cool. I'm honestly really surprised that we didn't see a Solemn Simulacrum in this deck. I thought that would be pretty good for this deck. Darkseid Reactor is actually a pretty cool card for this deck. I like that a lot. Yeah. Joydra, really cool card for this deck. Chain Reaction is pretty interesting. I like that card. Universal Surveillance. Another card that I thought was really cool was the Phyrexian Metamorph. Really good card for this deck. And also we have Sequin But the Chrome Host Sea Shark, very cool. Fumigate, pretty interesting card. This deck was a little light on mass removal, so you might want to add a few mass removal cards to this deck. Chaos Warp, very cool card though. Swan Song, also a very cool card. A little light on counterspells though. I think the Swan Song might actually be the only counterspell in the deck. So there's probably definitely some space for you to upgrade this deck with. So let's go ahead and put those there. So yeah, if I were to play this deck, I would probably go the Proliferate route and play with Hilo, the Apogee Mind. That's definitely a direction I would take. Alright, very cool. So let's go ahead and put that away for now. And after that, we're going to get into the main part. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Alright, so put the rest of this stuff away. I don't need this anymore. Very cool. Okay. So I will be back in just a moment. Just need to use the restroom real quick. So for now, take a peek at that, and that is where we will start in just a few minutes. One ball. Okay. Okay, so now we are back. Sorry for the wait. Had to use the restroom real quick. So now we're going to be opening this, and after that we're going to be opening this. So we've got two booster boxes here. I'm going to crack them up real quick, and we're going to see what kind of cool stuff we can pull out of this. Just put that over there. Actually, one moment. I need a trash can. There's going to be a lot of empty wrappers coming out of this. There we go. Alright, hold up and see what's inside. I have not bought a booster box in so many years, so I'm actually kind of excited to see what's in here. What we got here? Okay, so this little card here, it looks like it shows the peoples of the Edge of Eternities. So that's pretty cool. So we got the Sun Star from planet Adagia, the Ilvoi from Uthros, the Monoists from Susur Secundi, the Cav from Caveron, and the Eumidians from planet Evendo. So I guess the Kavu in this set are in no way related to the Kavu from Dominaria. So let's set that down. Oh, and on the back we have your draft archetypes. That's actually really cool. I like that. Very nice. Okay, so here we are. This is the booster box right here. There are 30 packs in here, and we're going to be opening them one by one in hopes of finding something cool. So let's see what we got here. Alright, first pack. Alright, first pack is, we start with the token. This is the Tezzeret Cruel Captain token. Let's start back over here. So, we got Banishing Light, Sammy's Curiosity, Slag Drill Scrapper, Decode Transmissions, Cryogen Relic, Thaumaton Torpedo, Swarm Color, Servandale the Lucent, Code Cracker Hound, Edge Rover. Then we have, oh, hello. So first pack is a full art Godless Shrine. This is actually something very cool. I'm very happy to see this. So that is a full art white and black Shockland out of the very first pack that we opened. That's actually super cool. So let's go ahead and set that aside. And after that we have Loading Zone. And then we have our foil of the pack is Deep Conquerors. Very cool. Then we got Mountain and a little robot. Very cool. I'm definitely happy with that. That's a very good first pack opening. That's actually super cool. Okay, so here we have another robot token and a lander token on the other side. Lander is actually pretty cool. I like the lander tokens a lot. Okay, what do we got here? We got Caberon, Turbo Drone, Rat Pack Monoist, Cryo Shadow. Very cool art on the Cryo Shadow. I really like the simplistic art on that. With Blatant Cancer, Shattered Wings, Zealous Display, Windball Sweeper, Honor. Again, really cool art on Honor. I like that a lot. Then we have Uthros Scientist, Galvanizing Saw Ship. Very cool art on that too. Kind of reminds me of the chainsaw weapon art from Duskmore. Hey, bud. What you doing?
Judging you.
You judge me? Silently?
Until now.
Alright. Monoist Circuit Feeder. Not too bad. Pretty good draft card.
Oh, actually,
What's up?
can I show your chat something I pulled?
What did you pull?
I pulled a really, really good card.
Uh-oh. What did you pull? Oh! Got me. But... Shattered Wings. Oh. Double
Sorry,
foil.
guys, I didn't mean it.
She totally meant it.
No!
She's a big meanie and she means it so much. Next pack. Let's see what we got here. Whoop. Okay. So, token is a human soldier and also a lander token. Pretty cool. Then here we have the Night Luminary, Blooming Stinger, Frontline War Rager, Insatiable Skittermaw, Starbreach Whale, very cool art on that. Dawbringer, Radiant Strike, Annul, very cool card, very relevant card in the set. Harmonious Grove Strider, Umbral Collar Zealot, Honor Knight Captain, Hard Light Containment, 1 white mana, enchant artifact you control. This aura enters, exile target
Alright, you want just one?
controls. Yeah, just one should do, because I do still have work tomorrow. Yeah.
Can I get anything else for you?
If you see something you can't without, go ahead and grab it.
I'm looking kind of off-duty goth, and it's not on purpose.
It's all good, buddy. Alright, I'll see you in a few minutes.
I like to look on-duty. Just
Yep.
kidding, I don't. I go to the gym and I go home. That's all I do.
That's right. Love you, baby. Oh, that's cool. Fell Ground Ship. Very nice art on that. I like that a lot. And we have a swamp. And Archivist Soldier. Very cool. I like that Fell Grab Ship. The Fell Grab Ship actually looks pretty cool. Alright, let's see what's next. Alright. Token in the pack is Robot and Lander token. So very cool. Good to have like plenty of those on hand. Hull Carver, Mental Modulation, Lux Knight Breacher, Biosynth Burst, Melded Moxite, Red Tiger Mechan, Pinnacle Killship, Reroute Systems, Eumidian Terrabotanist, Ruinous Rampage. That's actually pretty cool. I like Ruinous Rampage simply because it's a card that can handle a lot of artifacts all at once. It's a really cool card. What's this? Blast Zone. Oh, that's cool. This land enters with a charge counter on it. Add colorless, double colorless, and then tap it. Put X charge counters on this land. 3 tap, sacrifice this land, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of charge counters on this land. Very cool. Awesome art. I love that it's like full art. That's so dope. I love that a lot. Very, very cool. Just go and set that over here. And then we have Requiem Monolith. Very cool. Another rare. Wow, this pack was actually loaded. That's like 3 rares right there. Because the foil was a rare as well. It's Hard Light Containment. Very cool. And we got land and the Lander token. Very awesome. Love to see that. That was actually a pretty cool pack. Like, granted, the cards themselves weren't really worth a whole lot, but just the fact there were 3 rares in one pack, that's actually pretty awesome. I like that. All right, so let's open our next pack. Okay, so token here. We've got a drone token and a lander token. Very cool. Let's go ahead and turn that around. All right, what do we got here? We got Sky Stinger, Caveron Turbo Drone, Grab Pack Monoist, Cryo Shatter, Weft Blade Enhancer, Shattered Wings, Melt Strider's Gear, Servandum, Code Cracker Hound, Edge Rover, Full Bore, Pinnacle Starcage. That's a rare of the pack. When this artifact enters, exile all artifacts and creatures with mana value 2 or less until this artifact leaves the battlefield. So that's your replacement for, what's the card? Temporary Lockdown. Yeah, that's your new version of Temporary Lockdown. And you can pay 8 mana to put each card exiled with this artifact into its owner's graveyard. Then create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each card put into a graveyard this way, and sacrifice this artifact. Very cool. And then our foil is Nutrient Block to food. Alright, after that we got our forest and the token again. That's kind of awesome. I like that a lot. Alright, next pack. Let's see what we get. Okay. Token is Robot and Lander. Getting a lot of those. Alright. Grab Blade Heavy. Pretty cool. Divert Disaster. Vanishing Light. Very cool reprint there. Fungal Colossus. Ore Plate Pangolin. Zealous Display. Worm Wall Sweeper. Mechan Assembler. Invasive Maneuvers. Larval Scoutlander. Emergency Eject. Cosmo Grand Zenith. This is a mythic rare. Let's check it out real quick. It's a 2/4. It says, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose one. Create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, or put a +1/+ encounter on each creature you control. So, if we pair this with like the new Elspeth, that can create 4 1/1 human creature tokens. This has an opportunity to go very wide, very easily. I like that card. That card is actually pretty decent, especially for being a 2/4 at only 3 mana. That's not bad. Not bad at all. And foil of the pack is Germinating Worm. Come on. Move it over. Move it over. We got Mountain and a Lander. Very cool. I am really liking this set so far. I mean, there's a lot of really cool cards, really interesting mechanics. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of like Station. I think that's kind of gimmicky, but the other mechanics are actually really cool. All right, let's see here. All right, we got Robot and Lander. All right, Rig for War, Virus Beetle, Mechan Shieldmate, Flight Deck Coordinator, Intrepid Tenderfoot, Radiant Strike, Red Tiger Mechan, Melt Strider Eulogist, Survey Mechan, Scout for Survivors, Specimen for... Wow, look at the art on that. That is gorgeous. Like, I don't even care what it does. The art on that is damn great. I like that. And here we have a full art Starwinder. It's a 7 mana, 7/7 Leviathan. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw that many cards. And has a warp cost of 4. So whenever creature... Okay, so you can warp this in right before you're about to like attack, and then just slam the opponent, draw a ton of cards, and then the Starwinder just bounces back out of play. That is such a cool card. And that art is gorgeous. I love the art on that. Wow. Yeah, so far these cards are actually really, really cool. I'm especially liking these full art treatments. These are very nice. And then our foil of the set, or the pack, is Lightless Evangel. Very cool. Then we have a forest, and of course the token again. Yeah, I'm loving this set. So far this set is fantastic. A lot of fun. The Space Vampires, we got Space Knights, we got Star Whales, we got all kinds of just weird shit in this set. It's really fun. Drone and Lander. Okay, cool. All right, what we got here? Caveron Skywarden. I like the Kavu in this set because they kind of remind me of like space orcs from Warhammer 40k. I thought that's pretty cool. Grabblade Heavy, Divert Disaster, Banishing Light, Fungal Colossus, Thaumaton Torpedo, Swarm Color, Lightless Evangel, Atmospheric Greenhouse, Atomic Microsizer, Litho Breaking, Extinguisher Battleship. Look at the art on that. That is gorgeous. That actually reminds me of some old like Mark Teton artwork. Really cool. 8 mana. When this spacecraft enters, destroy target non-creature permanent, then this spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. That's actually kind of worth it. It's like this card, it's a 10/10 if you ever get it online, but otherwise you spend 8 mana to destroy any permanent and then board wipe for 4 health. That's actually pretty decent. Not too bad. And we have Sammy's Curiosity is the foil of the pack. Oh, what's this? A full art forest. Hell yeah. I love the full art lands in this set. I want to collect like a full 20 of all of the full art lands in this set. They look really nice. And then we got a Lander. Tanuk is seriously OP. Have you opened him yet? I have not opened him yet. I've seen him. I think he is a really cool card, and I think that he is going to probably create a new deck all on his own. He's a pretty powerful card, but I have not opened him just yet. So a bunch of Extinguisher Battleship plus Legion Extruder in EA. Legion Extruder, interesting. I'd have to look into that. Sounds like it could be a cool little combo. Alright, next pack. Robot Token, and on the back is a Lander. Seeing that most of these are robots and landers. Alright, Bombard, very cool. 4 damage target creature. Dark Endurance, Ilvoy Lightjammer, Starfighter Pilot, Slag Drill Scrapper, Pinnacle Killship, Nanoform Sentinel, Desculpting Blast. Love the art on Desculpting Blast. Some of these like blue commons and uncommons with this very simplistic art, it just looks really, really stunning. I like it a lot. Close Encounter, very close encounter. Territorial Bruntar. It's a beast. What's this? Grove of the Burn Willows. Land, you can tap it for colorless, and you can tap it to add red or green, and each opponent gains 1 life. So that's like a reverse pain land. That's actually pretty cool. And look at that art. That art is stunning. I love all the space art on these lands. It's so cool. All right, let's go and pop that down there. Oh, and that's not our only rare for the pack. We also got Terra Symbiosis. Very cool. And then we have Glacier Godmaw. I like that we're getting Leviathans in this set. Leviathans were not on like my bingo card for this set, but I'm glad to have them. What's this? Ooh, Full Art Swamp. That's nice. That's real nice looking. I like that a lot. And we got the Lander token. Need to pile up my cards a little bit better here. Hey, you're back real quick, buddy.
Here.
Welcome
Want to
back.
hear something crazy? I got hella paranoid. I
How'd you get
saw 2 guys at the liquor store that looked like my cousins. And I was like,
your cousins?
oh.
That, okay, look, yeah, we are getting older, and we are starting to see, like, our cousins and our nephews come of age. Like.
Oh no, I mean like, I got paranoid because it seemed like my cousins were in this part of town. Because my grandpa's funeral is tomorrow, so I know people are around.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I would not be surprised to see any of your extended family in town. Oh, Bean. Is she okay?
Yeah, she was practicing that really important skill she does where she tries to stand underneath your feet.
She's real good at it. Okay. Let's get to our next pack here. You going outside?
Yeah, I'm going outside. Please don't. Spudward! Sasquatch is not for you!
Go on, Spud.
That's an inside toy, my dear.
Mhm.
If we bring it outside, we can't bring it back inside because it's dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, young man. Come on. Come on, honey.
Let's see what's got here. All right, we got Starport Security,
Put it out.
Germinating Worm, Cav Landseeker, Embrace Oblivion, Cloud Sculpt Technician, Bright Spear Zealot, Melt Strider's Gear, Depressurize, very cool card. Unravel. I don't think I've seen this one yet. 1 and 2 blue, counter target spell. If the amount of mana spent to cast that spell was less than its mana value, you draw a card. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, so this is to counter ward abilities. That's actually pretty cool. Specifically for ward. Okay, I like that. That's good. Remnant Elemental. Dubious Delicacy. That's funny. Lightstall Inquisitor. Okay, yeah, I have seen this one. This one's actually pretty cool. 2/1 for 1. Vigilance. When this creature enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Each spell cast this way costs 1 more to cast. Each land played this way enters tapped. Yeah, this is an insane 1-drop. Like, Savannah Lions eat your heart out. Like, this is bonkers. You are going to be seeing a lot of this guy. And our foil for the set is Luxnite Breacher. Very cool. Then we have a Plains. Not full art this time. Alright, not too bad. Alright, let's move on to our next pack here. Alright, what do we got here? So, check the token first, of course. We got a robot and a lander, as usual. Alright, let's go here. Squire's Lightblade, Gene Pollinator, Bombard, Dark Endurance, Ilvoy Lightjammer, Temporal Intervention, Galactic Wayfarer, Dawn Strike Vanguard, Scour for Scrap, Molecular Modifier, Dauntless Scrapbot, Coral of the Void. 4 mana, enchant creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature card from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. Void. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this aura unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. That's a very interesting card. However, it's slow. It's an enchantment. It costs 4 mana. If someone removes the card that you try to put this on, then you're out 2 for 1, which kind of sucks. But hey, your opponent's not always going to have the removal at the right time, so this can be backbreaking if you get it to go off. But yeah, it's a pretty cool card. I'm not going to lie, it's a pretty cool card. I might actually want to try to build with it, but just the fact that it's really slow kind of makes me a little leery. Cavalron Turbo Drone is our foil of the pack. And then we have this very beautiful island and lander. Have you checked out the Warp and Void animations? Actually, I have not even been on Arena in, I want to say, like a full day at this point. Like, the last couple of days have been pretty hectic for me, and I've only logged on to like clear a couple quests to make sure I don't fall behind. So no, I have not seen any of the animations yet, but I imagine the animations are pretty sweet. So I'll definitely have to check that out later. All right, what do we got here? So we got Robot, and I'm gonna guess here. I guess it says Lander on the other side. Oh, it's like I'm clairvoyant. All right, next up we got Nebula Dragon. Very cool card. We got Grav Kill. Ooh, like the art on that. That's nice. Self-Craft Mechan, Focus Fire, Drix Fate Maker, Drill Too Deep, Summon a Balrog, Lost in Space, Lost in Space, I like that. Monoist Sentry, Vault Guard Trooper, Steel Swarm Operator. Ooh, Stomping Ground, nice. So we got ourselves another Shockland. So that's fantastic. The Shocklands are really my whole reason for getting into this this set. All the other cards are just a fantastic bonus, but I'm loving that we get Shocklands back. I'm so happy with that. Let's go put it down there. And then we also have another rare. This is Biotech Specialist. Okay, this card I'm actually really wanting to build around. So it's 1/3. When this creature enters, create a lander token. And it says, whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. That card is going to create a new deck all on its own. This is a fantastic card. Really happy to get that. We have our foil, which is Divert Disaster. Very interesting. The foil is like really foiling on this card. Really nice. And then we have Forest as our land. And the lander token, of course. Yeah, I'm very happy with the Shocklands. I like that the Shocklands are like in colors that I like to play, because I really like to play Dimir and I like to play Orzhov. So having Shocklands in those colors in the set really makes me happy. So I'm very happy to be buying into the set. All right, got Robot and Lander. Very nice. All right, let's check the cards. We got Peregrine Beckoner. We got Cryogen Relic, Squire's Lightblade, Gene Pollinator Bombard, Depressurize, Dock Worker Drone, Bygone Colossus. Interesting. 9/9 Warp 3. Okay, so it just warps in and doesn't do anything. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. Then we have Mechan Navigator. We have Melt Strider's Resolve, Faller's Faithful, Infinite Guideline Station. So this is our 5-color crazy card of the set. Like, it seems like almost every set has like one of these bonkers 5-color cards. So it's when Infinite Guideline Station enters, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. And then you can station it for 12, which is insane. It's flying. Whenever Infinite Guideline Station attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control. It's such a win more kind of situation. But hey, who cares if it's win more if you win the game, right? And then we have Temporal Intervention as our foil. I like that every single pack has a foil. Like, I'm not really big on foils myself, but just having the guarantee of a foil in every pack is pretty cool, especially for those people that actually do care about the foils. Because honestly, that just means then I can then flip my foils to other people for non-foil versions of cards that I actually want to play with. Ooh, that's good. All right, next pack. Also, I haven't asked yet, how am I coming through, like, audio-wise? Because I'm doing this on my phone with some earbuds, so I don't know if the sound quality is going to be all that great. Munitions and robot token. Very cool. Actually, I think that's our first munitions token. All right. We got Comic Crawler. Sounds perfect. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know about that. That actually makes me feel a little bit better. All right. Sinister Cryologist. Auxiliary Boosters. Diplomatic Relation. Oh, boy. I love that they had to, like, errata this card immediately because they wrote target creature gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance on a turn, deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent controls. They had to change that so it didn't say like target creature and then like another target creature, like because like people were going like, okay, this creature now just beats itself up. Caveron Skywarden, Red Tiger Mechan, Mechanozoa, Robot Jellyfish, very cool. All Fates Scroll, Vote. Oh, they got the God, what was that game? The Sus game. So, oh gosh, I can't even remember the name of it. It was the game in space where you're doing tasks and your team has to vote out the imposter. I forget the name of it, but that's a direct reference to that though. Then we got Social Engineering, Wedgelight Rammer, interesting name. Oh, there it is. That's the card I've been looking for. Singularity Rupture. 6 mana into Mirror. This is destroy all creatures, then any number of target players each mill half their library rounded down. That is such a slap in the face and a kick in the balls at the same time. I love that card. And our foil is a mythic foil. All right, cool. We got Devastating Onslaught. Double X in red. Create X tokens that are copies of target artifact or creature you control. Those tokens gain haste until end of turn. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the end step. Very cool. So there's also a foil mythic. Very cool. Oh, and we also got a foil land. Also cool. And then there's the token. Yeah, that was a pretty decent pack. I had a pack earlier that had like 3 rares in it. I was very surprised with that. All right, next pack. Here we have Human Soldier and Lander token. Lots of Lander tokens, which is good because Landers are awesome. All right, Ore Plate Pangolin, Peregrine Beckoner. I heard there was like an instant win combo in the limited with Peregrine Beckoner. Cryogen Relic, Squire's Lightblade, Gene Pollinator, Nanoform Sentinel, Dockworker Drone, Ilvoy Infiltrator, and Jellyfish Rogue. I like that. Caesarean Voidborn, separate. Rescue Skiff, Siege Ship Brood Tender. I really like the bugs. The bug creatures are really cool. 0 Point Ballad. I don't think I've seen this one yet. X and black, destroy all creatures with toughness X or less. You lose X life. If X is 6 or more, return a creature card from a card put into a graveyard this way into the battlefield. And oh wow, that's actually really good. So that's a board wipe and a reanimation spell all in one. Sure, you lose a bit of life when that happens, but that's actually pretty damn good. I like that. You love Caesarean Voidborn. I might have to take a look at that. Mouth of the Storm, because that's our foil of the pack. There's Island and Lander. Let's go back. Let's take a look at the Caesarean Voidborn and see what it does. There it is, Caesarean Voidborn. Okay, so 3 mana, 2/2. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life and warp 1. Oh, yeah, that's actually really good. Because it has the warp cost of only 1. So you can just warp that in when you're about to like pop off and just end the game right there. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. Good catch on that. Okay, next pack. Yeah, it's great in sack decks. Sephiroth. Yeah, Sephiroth decks are all over the place. I've been playing a lot on ladder, and I want to say like 1 out of every 4 decks I come across have had Sephiroth in them in one shape or another. Okay. Robot and Lander. Which is great. I'm glad to see like some of the cards from that set actually doing really well. Nebula Dragon, Grav Kill, Cellcraft Mechan, Focus Fire, Drix Fatemaker, Rig for War, Lost in Space, Dubious Delicacy, Bygone Colossus, Full Bore, Mechan Navigator, Memorial Vault. Interesting. I don't think I've seen this one either. Sacrifice another artifact, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is 1 plus the mana value of the sacrifice artifact. You may play those cards this turn. Okay, so it's a way for you to get a lot of impulse draw really easily. I don't think that's all that great. Or Plate Pangolin is our foil of the pack. Very cool. Planes. Ooh, I like that Planes art. That's nice. Looks like Supernova. I'm experimenting with a mono black Sephiroth before I can try the Orzhov one. Ooh, have you opened the Boros Lobster? No, I'm looking for the Boros Lobster Citizen. He's got to be in here somewhere. We need to make the dangerous food deck. It's munitions and the lobster. We're gonna make a crab boil. All right, let's see here. All right, token from this pack is Human Soldier and Lander. All right, let's check the pack. Decode Transmissions, Ilvoy Operative, Exosuit Savior, Nutrient Block. I swear, like the art in Nutrient Block, it makes it look like this card is from a completely different game. Ice Cave Crusher, Temporal Intervention, Galactic Wayfarer, Tragic Trajectory. Like, get it, like the arts in this set are so beautiful. I mean, just look at that. It looks so cool. Uthros Scanship. Another great example of fantastic art. Like, I love the color composition on that. Hey Delusions, how you doing? We're just opening some packs. We bought a couple booster boxes of Edge of Eternities, so I'm just seeing what's in it. Seed Chip Impact, Virulent Silencer, Nova Hellkite. Look at the art on that. That is beautiful. 5 mana, 4/5 for a Space Dragon. Flying Haste. When this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to target creature and opponent controls. It's only 1 damage though, so it's not that hot. But you do get to warp it in early. It's interesting. I like that it has Flying and Haste. I don't know how good this is going to be. I think this might be a case of really great art and not a great card. And our foil of the pack is Remnant Elemental. Oh, got a bonus foil. It's a swamp. Not too bad. Lander. Yes, they definitely did a fantastic job with the art. More than anything, like the art of this set is just gorgeous in every way. Like I don't know what they're doing different or what, or like if they're hiring new, more talented artists. Like the art in this set is it's just so damn good. That's all I can say about it. What creatures are you liking thus far? The cobra, the jellyfish, the insects? Personally, I like the insects the most. I like the bug boys. The jellyfish are cool, but for me personally, I like the bugs because of the bug people in Ether Drift and the bug people in Duskmourn tells me that we're going to be able to make a fully fledged bug deck, and I'm pretty excited for that. All right, see here. We got Robot and Lander token. Yeah, I think the bugs are cool. All right, Frontline War Rager. And we got Insatiable Skittermaw. Starbreach Whale. Starport Security. Germinating Worm, Nanoform Sentinel, Pinnacle Killship, Hilderblade. That's just a cool name. Roving Actuator, Rude Guard Elite. Oh, what's that? Wandering Fumarole. This land enters tapped, adds a red or a blue. You can pay 2, a blue, and a red until end of turn. This land becomes a 1/4 blue and red elemental creature with 0. Switch this creature's power and toughness until end of turn. It's still land. That's pretty interesting. Is this part of the bonus sheet? I think this might be part of the bonus sheet. And yes, this looks amazing. It's a gorgeous card. I don't know if this is standard legal. I'm thinking that it's not. Simply just based off of like the different text right here. Yeah, I think this might not be standard legal. We'll have to double check on that later, because I think it might be part of the bonus sheet. Either way, dope card. We've got Quantum Riddler. We've got a mythic here. It's 5 mana for a Sphinx. It's a 4/6 flying. When this creature enters, draw a card. As long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, if you would draw 1 or more cards, you draw that many cards plus 1 instead, with a warp of 2. Yeah, I think it might be the special guests. Yeah, I think all of the cards with that weird like text font for the name, I think those are all special guest cards. Propulsion, Foil Mountain. Yeah. Either way, it's going in the trade binder. I'm gonna find someone to pick that up from me. Because honestly, if it's not standard legal, I'm typically not too keen on it. I'm mostly a standard enjoyer. I will sometimes play Commander, but I'm mostly a standard guy. All right, Plasma Bolt. Then we have Hull Carver, Mental Modulation, Lux Night Breacher, Biosynthic Burst, Command Bridge. Again, magnificent art on that. That just looks gorgeous. That looks like something you would see on Mass Effect. Like that would be like the Citadel of Mass Effect. That's what that reminds me of. Chrome Companion, that's the good boy. Terra Pact Intimidator. Alfariel, Dreaming Acolyte. Pulsar Squadron Ace. Sacred Foundry, here we go. That's another Shockland. That's a big pull right there. I love the Shocklands. I'm so happy to see these back. I actually still have like 4 of the original Sacred Foundry because I have an old deck that I never sold back when I got rid of my my collection back in the day. So I actually have 4 of these already. So I'm happy to see that. Okay, next up, oh, we got another rare. It's Frenzied Baloth, the most busted green card in the set. 3/2. This spell can't be countered. It has trample and haste, and creature spells you control can't be countered. Combat damage can't be prevented. This card is bonkers, and I love it. Yeah, the Shocklands are fantastic. Scout for Survivors, that's a quick foil. Ooh, what's this? Full Art Mounted. That is beautiful. Look at that. That art right there reminds me of the planet Char in StarCraft. Let's go put that over there. We got a lander token. Yeah, Frenzy Baloth is bananas. It's such a good green card. Actually, the first card that I actually pulled tonight was this one right here. This is the Full Art Godless Shrine. That's the white and black Shockland. Really, really good looking card. I'm very happy to have that. That's a beautiful card. Pretty soon I'll actually be able to build a paper deck and go down to Friday Night Magic and play some cards. That's going to be pretty fun. So I won't just be playing on Arena. All right, we got Human Soldier plus Lander. All right, let's check the packs. All right, Rig for War, Virus Beetle, Mech and Shield Mate, Flight Deck Coordinator, Intrepid Tenderfoot, Worm Wall Sweeper, Drill 2 Deep, Tonic Memorial Ensign. And we have Caesarean Dirgecraft, Hemosymbic Might, Oh, look at that. Mystifying Maze. So that I'm assuming that's another one of those special guest cards. So it's a land, taps for colorless, 4 tap, exile target attacking creature and opponent controls. Beginning the next end step, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Beautiful card. Look at that. And then we have Starwinder. This is the 7/7 that warps for 4. And we saw that one earlier. Very, very cool card. And foil of the pack is Scour for Scrap. Oh, what's this? That is a foil full art swap. Wow, what a good pack. Very nice. Beautiful card. I love the full art lands in this set. I mean, I said it earlier, like, I really think I'm going to collect like a full set of all of the full art basics. Okay, next pack. Okay. Token for this pack is Drone. And on the back we got Lander. Okay, let's check the pack. It is Sky Stinger, very cool card. Cavarone Turbo Drone, Grav Pack Monoist, Cryo Shatter, Left Blade Enhancer, Chrome Companion. Oh, 2 Chrome Companions. Look at that, side by side. That's an oddity right there. You don't usually see that. Ray Blade Trooper, Hemosyndic Might, Caesarean Dirgecraft, Cavarone Harrier, Alfarial Stone Chosen. That's one of our marquee cards of the set. That's a 3/3 Mythic Rare. Ward cost of discard a card at random. You don't see that ever. And Void, whenever Alfarial attacks, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn, defending player loses half their life rounded up. Now, that's not if he attacks and strikes the opponent, just if he attacks. That's a pretty strong effect. Really expensive card, like it costs 5 to play, but that's a very, very cool card. And our foil is Sinister Cryologist. There's our mountain and the token. Very cool. Alright, we're starting to get to the bottom of this box here. Alright, what do we got here? Alright. Token is Human Soldier and Lander. Very cool. Alright, then we got Starfighter Pilot, Ice Cave Crasher, Orbital Plunge, Beam Saw Prospector, Illboy Galeblade, Thaumaton Torpedo, Radiant Strike, Blade of the Swarm, Pull Through the Weft. I'm constantly getting stunned by the art in this set. It's so good. Sammy, Ship's Engineer, Scrounge for Eternity, Thrumming Hive Pool. There it is, the sliver card from the set. You know what's funny is when I saw this card get spoiled, I said to my friends in Discord, I said, you know what's going to be really funny is if this is the only sliver card in the entire set. And I believe it is actually the only sliver card in the entire set, which is really funny because it says affinity for slivers. It's like, you're not going to have other slivers. And the only way to play this in standard is to have it just be the Thrumming Hive Pools. Like there are no other slivers. So the only way to really make affinity work is to have one of these on the table already and then play a second one. So it's really weird. But it's a pretty cool card. I mean, a lot of sliver players are going to be all over this card too. Alright, foil of the pack is All Fates Stalker. Then we have Swamp and a Lander token. Ooh, yeah, that's right. I always forget about changelings. Changelings absolutely are a thing. Especially, like, there's that land that turns into, like, a changeling. That's actually pretty good. Also, this is where my brain originally went to with the sliver, is play it with Leyline of Transformation, the blue Leyline, and just, if you get it in your opening hand, you get to play it turn 0, and you just name Sliver, and suddenly all your creatures are slivers. So that's another way, but it's kind of a janky way to make it happen. Yeah, the Soulstone Sanctuary is a land that animates and becomes all creature types. All right, munitions and robot. All right, Here we go. We got Ilvoy Operative, Exosuit Savior, Fungal Colossus, Cavalron Skywarden, Gravblade Heavy, Divert Disaster, Depressurize, Drill Too Deep, Harmonious Growth Strider, Honored Knight Captain, Remnant Elemental, Sunset Saboteur. This is an interesting card. 4/1 Menace. Ward, discard a card. Whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and opponent controls. Very interesting card with a very strange drawback. And then we have Exosuit Savior is the foil of the pack. And here we have, looks like a foil full art mountain. Beautiful mountain. I like that a lot. You tell me the only ley lines I have from Duskmourn could finally be useful in play. You know what? They have been useful before. When they first came out, I decided to make a ninja deck. And I actually made a video about that on the channel. It was a bad deck, I'm not going to lie to you, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun to play. I made it specifically so that I could use the emblem effect on Kaido to just give all my guys a bunch of bonuses. It was a really silly deck. But yes, that really terrible ley line does have a use. A very niche use, but a use. Alright, let's check this back. We got Dark Endurance, Ilvoy Lightjammer, Starfighter Pilot, Slag Drill Scrapper, Decode Transmissions, Chrome Companion, Zookeeper Mechan, Station Monitor, Reroute Systems. Actually, let me see here. You notice something about this card? It's a lizard. It's a monitor lizard. I see what you're doing, lizards. Reroute Systems, Eumidium Terrabotanist, Caesarean Voidborn, Rust Harvester. Interesting. What's this? See, 1/1 with Menace. Let me try to focus a little bit. There we go. Exile an artifact card from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, then it deals damage equal to its power to any turn. Oh, that's actually pretty decent. I like that card. That card's pretty cool. And then we have Gravblade Heavy is our foil of the pack with a Swamp. Reminds me of the instant ramen card from Final Fantasy, which is, you guessed it, an instant spell. yeah, I'm a big fan of like silly puns in these games. I think they just add a little bit of levity. And whenever you can get like some good flavor out of a card, I'm very happy with that. Okay, next up. Drone and Robot. Cards are Frontline War Rager, Insatiable Skittermaw, Starbreach Whale, Starport Security, Germinating Worm, Orbital Plunge, Zealous Display, Rayblade Trooper, Cavalron Harrier, Mouth of the Storm, Fail Grab Ship, Astelli Reclaimer. Okay, so that's our rare, and it is a good one. That is a good one. That is our Spectral Angel there. 5 mana, 5/4, flying. When this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature, with a warp cost of 3. So you can warp it in early, get a 3 or less back to your battlefield, or get a 5 or less later when you cast it for its full cost. That is such a good card. Really happy with that pull. Then we got our foil, which is Ilvoy Lightjammer. And then, ooh, look at that. Full art planes. It's beautiful. And then the robot, of course. Yeah, definitely really happy with a lot of the cards that we're getting out of this box here. All right, let's see what's in the next bag. Okay, so we got our token here, which is a drone and a robot, so same as usual. Then we got the Virus Beetle, Mechan Shieldmate, Flight Deck Coordinator, Intrepid Tenderfoot, Plasma Bolt, Lost in Space, Zookeeper Mechan, Meltstrader's Resolve, Station Monitor Lizard again. We got Faller's Faithful, Diadrine Synthesis Amalgam. This is an interesting card. It's a 0/1 for X, a green, and a white. Trample. Diadrine enters with a number of ++1 counters on it equal to the number of mana spent to cast it. Then whenever you attack, you may remove a ++1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control. If you do, draw a card and create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature. That's a pretty interesting card. I like that a lot. And here is the Possibility Technician as a full art, alternate art, Kavu Artificer. That is pretty cool. 3 mana. Whenever this creature or another Kavu you control enters, exile the top card of your library. For as long as that card remains exiled, you may play it if you control a Kavu, and has work too. That is pretty damn cool. I like that card a lot. So just gonna put these over here. And then we have, for a foil, we have Cloud Sculpt Technician. And then we have a foil Forest. Very nice. Virus Beetle is a cool Hopeless Nightmare substitute for bounces. Yeah. It seems like almost every set has like a version of like the 1/1 for 2 that you play it and it makes the opponent discard a card. I think they include those with every set for draft because it's also just a pretty decent draft staple. You see a lot of cards in every set that do the same thing, only slightly different, just because they're there for draft. How many packs are in a collector's booster? Collector's booster, I think they sell 12 packs in a box, and I think they sell the box for like $300. It's stupid expensive, and I'm glad, for me personally, that I'm not a collector. I don't care about like foils or alternate arts a whole lot, so I'm never gonna buy a collector booster. I don't really think they're worth the money. More importantly, I don't think they're worth the gamble. I really think that, because for me, I'm just a player. I'm not much of a collector, so I just want the fun cards that I want to play the game with, not necessarily the big shinies. Okay, next up, we got the Human Soldier and the Lander token. But yeah, if I ever see someone that has like non-foil versions of like a foil card that I have, I would gladly trade them 2 for 1 on the on the foil to get non-foil versions, because I just don't like foils too much. Cavland Seeker, Embrace Oblivion, Cloud Sculpt Technician, Bright Spirit Zealot, Sky Stinger, Thawbringer, Lost in Space, All Fate Stalker, Mouth of the Storm, Halia Ascendant Cadet. Beautiful art on that. And we have Felgrab Ship. Then we have the Seriema. That's our marquee legendary ship right there. Very cool card. And then we have something very cool. This is a foil breeding pool. That is our green and blue Shockland. Very nice. That is going straight into the binder. I think someone would be very happy to trade for that card. Very, very nice. And then on top of that, we have a full art island. Awesome. That was a fantastic pack. We had Seriema, a foil breeding pool, and this full art land. That was a good pack. Very happy with that pack. All right, we're getting to the bottom of the barrel here. All right, let's see what we got here. So, token. Oh, there we go. That's our first sliver token. Getting this far down in the box, we've only seen 1 sliver token so far. That's kind of crazy. All right, next up, Melded Moxite, Comet Crawler, Sinister Cryologist, Auxiliary Boosters, Diplomatic Relations, Swarm Color, Thawbringer, Starfield Shepherd, Seed Ship Agrarian, Memorial Team Leader, Sunstar Expansionist, Starfield Vocalist. Very cool card here. So this is 4 mana, 3/4. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent, you control the trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So very, very cool card. I love the Seriema. Hope I'm going to open it on Arena. Okay, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. It's a pretty cool card. Then we have Swarm Color as our foil for the pack, and a Mountain. Okay. Second to last pack of the box, we have Drone Token and Lander Token. Flip it around and see what we got. We got Shattered Wings, Nebula Dragon, Grav Kill, Cellcraft Mechan, Focus Fire, Drix Fate Maker, Dockworker Drone, Sunstar Lightsmith, Interceptor Mechan, Hymn of the Faller, Tractor Beam. Cool card. Weapons Manufacturing. There we go. That's the card that you want to pair with Food Boy. So it's 1 in a red. Enchantment. Whenever non-token artifact you control enters, create a colorless artifact token named Munitions. When this token leaves the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. It's a really interesting card because it creates a bunch of artifact tokens with no way to sacrifice them on their own. You need another card like the Lobster Citizen to sacrifice them for you. I think that card is going to be very, very good. Uthros Psionicist is our foil of the pack. And then we have a Forest. All right, here we go. Yes, yeah, the weapons manufacturing is going to be an absolute powerhouse. I'm very excited to build that deck. Okay. All right, here it is. Last pack of the box. Let's see if we get something good. Well, we already got a Sliver Token. That's pretty cool. And on the back side is a robot. All right, what do we got here? All right, we got Plasma Bolt. We got Hull Carver. Mental Modulation. Lux Knight Breacher. Biosynthic Burst. Command Bridge. Thawbringer. Weft Stalker Ardent. Dual Sun Technique. Glacier Godma. Biomechan Engineer. It's another bug boy. The Dawnsire Sunstar Dreadnought. That is the mythic spaceship. 5 colorless mana. You can station it at 10 and 20. At 10, it says whenever you attack, Dawnsire deals 100 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. And at 20, it just is a 20/20 creature. You can orbital strike someone whenever you attack. It's pretty cool. And then we have Hemo, Symbiotic Might. We got Plains and the Slayer token, of course. Whew. Wow, that took a lot of energy to get through. That was a lot of packs. So let's go ahead and take these and just kind of slide these right back in here. And we'll get to sorting these later. These are all of our commons and uncommons, token cards, and lands. Later, we will go about sorting all that stuff and getting them where they need to be. Let's go and put those right there. Awesome. Okay, so it is unfortunately a little bit too late for me to keep going tonight. It's 10:19, and I have work tomorrow. So I'm going to cut it right here. And I'd like to say thank you very much for spending the evening with me while I go through all these silly cards. So I will have to open the other box probably tomorrow, and we'll see what we get out of that box. So again, thank you very much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you when I see you. And I hope you guys have fun with Edge of Eternities. You guys have a good night. Take care.